Good evening and welcome to Essay Today for Tuesday, January 27th. I'm Topher Lane, and tonight we will talk about new essay initiatives as well as sit down with Director of Student Life Aisha Sidat. This is Essay Today. Expects an influx in applicants this July. Newhouse hopes their new online digital master's degree will result in a financial boom for the Syracuse community. Anthony Rotola will be director of the program. Rotola left SU's iSchool last year to start up and direct Newhouse's online digital media degree. This program will operate in 11-week sessions and $60,000 for a 33-credit degree. And Mayor Stephanie Miner says the overall experience of people downtown is a safe one. This is in response to multiple incidents within the past couple weeks. Miner is calling for increased police presence in a hope of deterring robberies and other violent incidents, including police findings a stolen handgun in a car last night. 3 men attempted to flee from the police yesterday during a police traffic stop. Police also found over 350 packets of heroin, which was valued at $5,000. All 3 men were arraigned in city court this morning. New total is on in the nor'easter Juno. It didn't quite live up to expectations in New York and New Jersey, only dropping 10 inches instead of 2 or 3 feet. But parts of Massachusetts did get that much today. All travel bans were lifted this morning in New York and New Jersey, but Maine and New Hampshire are still counting their snowflakes. Some of the affected areas lost power and felt hurricane-force winds. This affected over 7,000 flights over the last few days, and more are expected to be canceled tomorrow. Grocers felt it too. Shelves were cleared off in anticipation of the storm. A coastal city in New Hampshire decided to make the best of their situation and invited hundreds to a Facebook invitation for a snowball fight. One organizer said it's a tradition dating back almost 400 years. Here in Syracuse, we only saw a few inches. Some areas are expected to get a few more to our south and east, but Syracuse is about 30 inches short on their annual average snowfall for this time of the year. So Buffalo will likely take home the golden snowball this year due to the heavy winter back in November. Last night, Syracuse played at the University of North Carolina's Chapel Hill in what can be considered a disheartening defeat. In spite of recent injuries, SU battled the Tar Heels, who were seeking their 7th straight win. The Orange forced 20 turnovers and went into the half with the lead. They couldn't hold on, though, as UNC clawed their way back into the game. While SU's defeat may not determine the rest of the season for the Orange, they will continue to face many more difficult opponents in ACC play. The Student Association President and Comptroller petitions are now available. All students interested in running for these positions need to collect 500 signatures from the student body by February 20th. Hurry up and get those signatures before time is up. Earlier today, SA President Boris Greasley gave his presidential address to the students. Here's what he had to say.
Good evening, fellow students. This is the weekly address. I'd like to start off by talking about the annual report. The annual report is going to be sent out to the entire student body by the end of this week. It's going to be a detailed account of all the things that SA has been accomplishing and working on throughout the past year. We're also going to be talking about what are the members within SA, both that are part of the assembly and not. In addition to that, we also had the general interest meeting, which was very successful. We're trying to start recruiting members, so if you're interested in coming into SA or being part of the assembly, please make sure to reach out to the BEM officer, Paulina Colon. She will be there this whole week trying to recruit members. Our SA meetings are Mondays at 7:30 p.m. in Maxwell Auditorium, so please make sure to attend. There's always exciting news and updates about what's going on around the campus. And this is your weekly address.
Next, we will talk about upcoming changes in SA and sit down with the Director of Student Life, Aisha Sidat, for what changes students can expect for this year. Stay with us.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans. These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our coworkers, their kids go to school with our kids. Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. So is the solution.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Stephen Thomas presented the Syracuse University Student Association's restructuring plans Monday evening. Thomas reviewed the Federalization Act of 2015. If set into motion, this bill would change committee structures within SA. Both the Academic Affairs Committee and the Student Life Committee would be combined to create an even larger committee of student affairs. One can be hopeful that this bill may serve as one of the many improvements to come. Earlier today, I sat down with Aisha Sidat to talk about new essay initiatives and what we can expect this semester. Here's what she had to say. So, Aisha, what are some new exciting things that students can expect from you this semester?
So actually what was really exciting was my committee and I, we met last week, and there was an idea that Boris had suggested that he saw at another university. He said, why don't you try to bring something like it here? And it kind of really ballooned through my committee that a lot of members were bouncing ideas off of each other, kind of made into our own new thing. But it's kind of going to be like a financial outreach program, kind of a week-long string of events where students within Whitman who have done really well in certain finance-related classes can teach upcoming graduating students about things like refinancing your student loans, how to get a house and get a car, things like that. And the Whitman students would get community service hours for it. So right now we're in the process of, we're learning the logistics as to how can we count it as community service, because there's some regulations about that. And I'm also partnering with financial aid to see, do they have any material we can do? Can we do something with them? That kind of thing. And another initiative that we're working on that we actually started last semester, which was really exciting to see how much work we got done within one semester, was the heat lamps initiative. Where as of right now, so the university has purchased a couple of heat lamps that are going to be put in the College Place bus stop. And right now they're in the process of like figuring out the wiring and that sort of thing. But we're looking to expand this semester and bringing the heat lamps onto South Campus.
Mm-hmm. And that was something that was passed last semester. They initially said the timetable would be Thanksgiving break, winter break. What was the delay? What kind of pushed that back a couple weeks, couple months? So
actually what ended up happening was we contacted a couple other universities and we said, hey, do you guys have this kind of thing? Universities that are in similar climates such as ours, like Michigan, Cornell, and actually they don't have anything like this. So we were figuring out like what's the delay? Like why are we going to be the first people to do it? Which is really exciting though, because then a lot of universities look at us. And we realized that there are a lot of safety regulations that come along with it, depending upon how strong the heat lamps would be, and which is like at Syracuse, they're going to be very warm, they're going to be really strong. They have to be a certain number of feet off the ground or else the student's going to get burned. So basically right now what we learned was, first off, the bus stops on South Campus, they're not even owned by the university. They're owned by Centro, but they're actually completely okay with us tampering around with it. But they're not actually with the 11 feet tall regulation that's in place for having heat lamps in a bus stop. So right now we're in the process of figuring out ways in which we can get the bus stops kind of like higher, kind of like bed risers you would put in a dorm, that kind of thing. It was actually an idea that me and another member kind of just thought of right across the table from each other. And figuring out the wiring to get it to produce the energy to get the heat lamp there. So with College Place, it makes more sense because there are a couple buildings already there, but on South Campus, they're in the process of figuring that out.
All right, well, kind of transitioning off of that to what's going on now this semester, you guys had your general interest meeting on Thursday night. What do you expect from the new faces that are coming in from that general interest meeting? Who's going to they're going to try to get involved? What do you expect from them?
Well, actually, we were really excited to see that a lot of the members that came there were first off freshmen, and secondly, they were from different colleges all over campus. So we're really excited to see the kind of input that these students can have. I mean, I remember seeing one VPA, 2 engineering, so that was really exciting to see that they can bring in their student experiences within their home colleges, and they can bring it to SA. So it was really exciting. We had about over 15 individuals there. It was a last-minute meeting, but it was still really exciting to see how many people showed up and had questions, and were really excited to hand in their petitions for the elections.
Okay, and then the Federalization Act of 2015 was proposed at last night's meeting, and it's being initiated to combine the Academic Affairs Committee and the Student Life Committee. How will this improve efficiency within Student Association?
So right now, actually, the bill isn't finalized yet. It's still in its preliminary phases. The meeting that we had yesterday was us just kind of like, was our parliamentarian pitching the idea and saying, hey, this is what we think it's going to increase efficiency within SA. I mean, in theory, the idea is that combining student life and academic affairs would increase efficiency because those are the two committees that mainly target the student experience at Syracuse. Public relations is something different, and student engagement would end up being working more with registered student organizations, not necessarily the student body on campus. So there's going to be a certain trial period for the bill if it ends up getting passed. So we're really excited to see that because efficiency is always better.
Definitely. And lastly, the Chat and Dine initiative, which has come out this semester and something that Student Association is really excited about. How do you think that will improve really the experience that students are getting here at SU?
Well, definitely there's something that professors and faculty members and staff members on campus have is they have advice to give to students, and that's something that you can get from them outside, that you can't really get from them in the classroom in a large lecture hall. So what we're really hoping to do with Chat and Dine is to expand that learning experience outside of the classroom for students who are in big lectures, where they can have an intimate conversation with professors. I know personally for myself, I got my career advice from my advisor, Bill Copeland, and I had to get that from him when I was not in class with him, that we actually had lunch at Eggers, but I had to pay for it. So it's kind of looking to see, well, this is kind of like a nice little cherry on top of the sundaes that we're going to pay for the lunch at faculty, just so we really hope to enhance that experience for students.
All right, great. Aisha, thank you for being with us.
No problem.
We have the local weather forecast, plus what was found wandering around the streets of Boston.
Are different. Society should aspire to be more like us.
Be part of the first class. Get energized. Get outside.
Hold on, guys. It's gonna get bumpy.
And get moving. Experience the power of physical activity. Join the movement at ActionHeroAlliance.com.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back. Central New York avoided the Juno blizzard, but we're not in the clear. Tomorrow, expect a high of 19 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. The cold weather will continue into the weekend, and flurries and maybe some light snowfall. But humans may not be fans of snow apocalypse, but these weather conditions are ideal for other species. Last evening, a Yeti was spotted roaming the streets of Somerville, Mass. Yetis are allegedly found around the Himalayas, but this one traveled all the way to the New England area to take an advantage of the prime vacation opportunity. He already has his own Twitter page and is claiming credit for closing dozens of schools in the area. CitrusTV reached out for an interview, but he's too busy enjoying the snow. That's all the time that we have for you tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to tweet at #AskSA for any comments or concerns for SA, and we may ask them on our show. Tune in tomorrow for the latest news on Citrus TV at 6. I'm Topher Lane. Have a great night, Syracuse.